Welcome everyone, welcome to the January 2nd, 2024 meeting of the town board. This is our first meeting of the year, and I will start by asking for a motion to open our reorganization meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Vicky Tip and I am your new town supervisor. I am thrilled and honored to serve our town. And I want to welcome everyone at the board table and our staff and our attorney. First, I want to start by congratulating our newest member of the board, Jen Klein, who is elected to a four-year position. We are so happy to have you, Jen. I want to reintroduce someone everyone knows, Jeremy Salan, who I will be appointing as our deputy supervisor. Thank you for taking that on, Jeremy. And I want to reintroduce Ali Kemtov, who is here for the first time as our elected member, as opposed to our appointed member. So thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Holly, everyone knows Holly. I want to reintroduce you too. Holly's serving her second year. So we're all excited to start. I just want to say that to everyone who doesn't know me, I have a very collaborative approach and I feel so lucky to have such a great team. And we will be working together and it's very conducive to what a town board government is because it's a board and we make decisions as a board. So happy to have this team going forward. And I want to announce that we were all sworn in today, but we'll be having our ceremonial inauguration on January 11th, which is next Thursday at 6 p.m. at Chapac, so everybody's welcome to come. Also today we'll be having our organizational meeting, then we'll go into exec, and then we'll have a work session. And I'm mentioning all that just to say that the organizational meeting is a lot of ministerial actions, actions that are taken every year so that the town can function. And next at our next meeting, we'll be having a more fulsome discussion of board goals and what our vision is going forward. So be patient for that and we will cover all of that at the town board meeting on January 9th because that's when the public has an opportunity to speak and we want to be very transparent and accessible about it. So with that, is there anything that anyone wants to add before we continue? Okay, so we will get on with the organizational meeting. So let's see, Holly, do you want to start with appointments?
Sure. I move to appoint the following individuals for 2-year terms effective January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025. Civil Officer P.O. Rick Tolliver, Commissioner of Public Works Bart Carey, Town Controller Deputy Town Administrator Robert Deary, Town Clerk Christina Papes, Town Engineer Robert Cioli, Fire Marshal Robert Bancroft, Marriage Officers Christina Papes, Lauren Cascone, and Victoria Tip, Receiver of Taxes Christina Papes, Registrar of Vital Statistics Christina Papes, and Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics Lauren Cascone.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so this is my part. I hereby announce that the town clerk receiver of taxes has appointed Patricia Antonucci as deputy receiver of taxes and Lauren Cascone as deputy town clerk. And I hereby announce the appointment of Jeremy Saland as deputy supervisor for the year 2024. And I hereby announce the appointment of Jill Simon Shapiro as budget officer for the year 2024. Thank you all. Okay, Holly, do you want to continue the next page with we have organizational resolutions?
No problem. I move to appoint Bleakley Platt as town council at the rates described in their letter dated September 26, 2023 for a term to expire on January 31st, 2024 with extensions as agreed upon by both parties.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to appoint Stuart Miller and Carlos Ramirez as town prosecutors at an annual salary of $6,000 each for a 2-year term effective through December 31st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Want
me to take over?
Yeah, go ahead.
I move to appoint Jill Simon Shapiro as town administrator at the salary and terms described in the contract attached here too.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to designate the Journal News as the official newspaper of the town for purposes of publishing legal notices during the year 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to adopt the Town of Newcastle procurement policy as approved on January 2nd, 2019 as annexed here too.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Want one more page just
Keep
for
going,
efficiency?
one more page, yeah.
I move to adopt the following resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Newcastle Town Board hereby establishes the following fees and charges for the fiscal year 2024. The fee schedule is attached.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to set the mileage reimbursement rate at 67 cents per mile for the year 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to adopt Robert's Rules of Order as the official guidelines for conducting all town board meetings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Jeremy?
I move to adopt the part-time employee hourly salary schedule for the year 2024 as attached.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to adopt the following resolution. Now therefore it be resolved, the Newcastle Town Board hereby adopts the salary schedule as attached for full-time employees of the town of Newcastle as it appears and is appended to the 2024 adopted budget, with the understanding that salaries for certain union and non-union employees are subject to further modification as a result of employee evaluations and contract negotiations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move to adopt the following meeting schedule for 2024, noting that all meetings are held on Tuesday and will begin at 6:30 p.m. except as noted below.
You have
Second.
to say.
Oh.
You don't need to
What?
state all the dates.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I said as noted below.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you wanna do the water rates so Jennifer does not
Okay.
have to do that?
All right,
This
I-
meeting.
We're not gonna give her a tongue twister.
Unless that's the initiation.
Well, all right, I move to adopt the following. The town board acting as commissioners of Newcastle Stanwood Consolidated Water District hereby set the basic district water rates for all water billed on or after January 1st, 2024, including consumed but not billed prior to January 1st, 2024, as reflected herein. The town board finds that water consumption of more than 6,000 cubic feet by any particular water user in the district during any single billing period creates a substantial likelihood that penalty charges for excess per capita water consumption will be imposed on the district by the New York City Department of Environmental Protection, and determines that a surcharge is necessary for water consumed or used in excess of 6,000 cubic feet in order to encourage conservation and set off any such penalty that the NYC DEP might impose. We as the town board set a two-tier system for the water district, the rates as reflected below. And that commences on January 1st, 2024. District assessment in connection with the assessment of the district for $991,739 of costs. The town board, acting as a town board and its commissioners of the district, confirm the generation of that same dollar amount by ad valorem assessment against properties in the district, and that such assessment are made and shall be applied by the district for costs relating to maintenance and repair of district assets and to meet interest charges with respect to the district.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're up.
Okay, Jen.
Okay.
Can I make one correction on the designation of depositories down where it says Signature Bank? They're defunct. It's now Flagstar Bank, if we could change it to reflect Flagstar Bank.
So that is gonna be,
On the
so
depositories.
there's no more Signature Bank, it's Signature Bank, it's Flagstar Bank.
I don't know if you're gonna read them all.
Yeah,
You
I
don't have to read them
would
all.
not be reading them. Okay, I'll just say as reflected below. Okay.
I move to designate the following banks and accounts as official town of Newcastle bank depositories for the fiscal year 2024, as indicated below.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. You did it, you're official.
I move to adopt the following resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to section 11 of the Public Officers Law, the blanket bond coverage of official undertakings for town of Newcastle officials and town employees shall be fixed at $1 million, except that excess coverage for various officials shall be set as follows. As follows below?
Yeah.
As stated in the agenda.
And that the form and content of said blanket bond and official undertakings be approved by the town council. And be it further resolved that a verification certificate of insurance by name shall be filed for the following town officials as indicated below.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One more?
Let me get the last one.
Sure.
I move to authorize that in accordance with town law, Article 3, Section 29, and in lieu of preparing an annual financial report, the supervisor and or the controller be authorized to submit to the office of the town clerk a copy of the annual report, which must be submitted to the office of the state controller and further that a notice that such report is on file and available for public inspection be published in the official newspaper of the town.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that will,
Just, yeah,
one more?
To adjourn.
one more.
Point of order.
One more,
Go
okay.
ahead, please.
Yeah, since Tom DePauli, the building inspector, is now management, he should also be included in that 2-year term for appointees at the beginning of your agenda. So what I would recommend you do is just add Tom DePauli and just take a motion to vote Tom DePauli as building inspector for your 2-year term, effective January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2025. That would be the motion.
With the first item, so can
So
someone make
moved.
that?
Sure.
Do we need
There
to
you go.
amend
So
it or
moved.
make a new,
No,
make
just
a new motion? Okay,
do
second.
motions for Tom.
Okay.
I so
Jeremy
moved.
I
moved
second.
and Holly seconded?
Mhm.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Do you have
one last
Alright.
question is, does he need to be included in any of the verification of insurance certificates? On page 9 of 10?
On page 10,
Yeah, so you've got the blanket bonds, but that's only a supervisor, deputy supervisor, receiver, administrator, and controller. But then you've got a number of additional ones on the bottom of officials.
You're talking about 14, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah,
It doesn't include everyone.
no,
Like
but I don't know if it should include, that was my question to you.
I think you're okay with that.
Okay, great, just double checking, thank you.
Okay, so that concludes the organizational meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting and move into executive session for advice of counsel, personnel and contracts at now PM 5:42.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.